Chapter 3. The Midnight Visitor. Now question number 1. How is Osable different from other sector agent? Answer. Osable was different from other sector agent in several ways. He had a small room in the must corridor of a gloomy French hotel that was on the sixth and top floor, and it was squarely a setting from for a romantic adventure. He was a sloppy fat man with a wide accent in spite of living in Paris for over 20 years after moving from Boston. He spoke French and German with great difficulty and had not lost touch with his American accent. Generally, a spaghetti message passed secretly to him by beautiful girl. Osable was not of that kind. He got only a routine telephone call making an appointment. These were some of the way he was different from the conventional nation of a secret agent. Beside in the story, we notice how he dealt with Max by cooking up some stories about a non-extant balcony and convincing him to jump off the building so that he could get rid of Max forever. Now, question number 2. Who is Fowler and what is his first authentic thrill of the day? Answer. Fowler was a young and romantic writer who had come to meet Osable. He experienced his first thrill of the day when he saw an unknown man in Osable's room pointing a small automatic pistol towards him and Osable. So now the next, read and find out. Page 15, question number 1. How has Max got in? Max had got into Osable's room with the help of a passkey or master key. Question number 2. How does Osable say he got in? Osable said that he thought Max might have got into the room through the balcony. He said grimly that it was the second time in a month that somebody had entered his room through that nuisance of a balcony. Now think about it. Page 18. Question number 1. Osable did not fit any description of a secret agent Fowler had ever read. What do secret agents in book and films look like in your opinion? Discuss in group or in class from stories or movies featuring spies, detective and secret agent and compare their appearance with that of Osable in the story. You may mention characters from fiction in language other than English. In English fiction, you may have come across Sherlock Holmes, Hercules Poirot, of Miss Marple. Have you watched any movies featuring James Bond? Now answer. Secret agent in fiction are usually protected to be perfect gentlemen who are tall, dark and handsome with awesome speaking skill and an attractive masculine voice. They usually have well-built structure with beautiful women accompanying them. Some spies smoke a pipe like Sherlock Holmes or a cigar, and they execute death dying use of high-tech gadgets that help in catering criminals that help in chatting criminals and countering evil villains. Nonetheless, there are some exceptions in the above definition of detectives or spies. One such fine example is the detective character named Fuldev name Faluda created by famous Bengali filmmaker Satyajit Ray. Feluda was a tall, charming and athletic secret agent who had amazing analytic power and eagle-eyed view and super observed skills. Question number 2. How does Oswald manage to make Max believe that there is a balcony attached to his room? Look back at his detailed description of it. What makes it a convincing, convincing story? Answer. While talking to Fowler, Oswald created a comprehensive description of how his room was part of a large apartment and how the living room that connected through the door had a balcony. He further stated how somebody had broken into his office through that balcony earlier, and this made it a convincing story for Max to instantly believe. Oswald's quiet wit and composure in such a panic situation made it a more convincing story for Max to believe in. Now, the next question. Looking back at the story, when do you think Oswald thought of his plan for getting rid of Max? Do you think he had worked out his plan in details right from the beginning, or did he make up a plan talking adventure of events as they happened? Answer. No, I don't think that Oswald had thought up his plan earlier to get rid of Max. He maintained his composure and took advantage of events and the situation as they happened. He made up a story of a balcony outside the room to convince Max to believe him, and then when there was a knock at the door, he said that he had called the police to check on him and make sure that everything was alright. All these things made Max dispirited and shiver in fear. He became restless and without checking outside, he jumped out of the window. Now talk about it, page 18 and 19. Question number 1. In this story, Ausable show great presence of mind, of the ability of think quickly and act calm and wisely in a situation of danger of and surprise. Give example from your own experience or narrate a story which show someone presence of mind. Answer. This story resembles the play If I Were You. A criminal held Gerard as a hostage. However, Gerard trapped the criminal with confidence and treated him like a guest. He convinced the criminal as the police was behind him. He showed the criminal the exit door for escaping, which was actually a cupboard door. Criminal blindly followed Girard's instruction and tried exiting through the door, but was eventually trapped in the cupboard. Now question number 2. Discuss what you would do in the situation described below. Remember that presence of mind comes out of a state of mental preparedness in if you have thought about possible problems or danger and about how to act in such situation, you have a better chance to dealing with such situation if they do arise. A small fire start in your kitchen. A child start to choke on a piece of food. An electrical appliance start to hiss and give out sparks. A bicycle knocked down a pedestrian. It ran continuously for more than 24 hours. A member of your family does not return home at the usual or expected time. You may suggest other such situation. Answer. When a small fire break out into the kitchen, it is advisable to use blanket and put it over the fire to shut out the air. We should carefully make sure that the fire is not due to an electrical problem so that water can be splashed on it. If it is due to some electrical short circuit problem, all the electrical outlets in the house must be disconnected immediately so that the fire doesn't spread unnecessarily to other parts of the house. The children backs should be rubbed and thumped slowly until the piece of food stuck in the food pipe is vomited out. However, in case the child finds difficult in breathing, he should be given trained medical help immediately. As a temporary measure, the electrical outlet connected to the appliance should be immediately disconnected by removing the plug from the socket. Later, an authorized person should be called to repair the appliance and have it checked thoroughly before using it again. It is advisable to give some first aid to the pedestrian immediately and seek help from people around. If the person has a major injury, she could be rushed to the hospital. Rushed to the hospital. Excessive rain can cause floods. All necessary precautions should be taken to save all procession from getting damaged, and as a precau- precautionary measure it is advisable to inform the concerned authorities for necessary action. Just in case a family member does not return home at the usual time, we should inquire at the place where he/she might have visited. We can check at their friend place or any place they are likely to visit. If none of them is able to give the whereabouts of the family member, it is advisable to inform the local police and seek help in tracking the person. In this way, the chapter is ended. Wish you happy life.